Let's get some analysis on this. Entifadh Qanbar is the former spokesman of the Deputy Prime Minister of Iraq. Joins me now live from Washington, D.C. Good to have you with us. So there have been months and months of negotiations on this, and finally they've got this draft text on the table. Do you believe that all parties, including Iran, will sign up to this?
It's a very difficult situation. Biden administration came with full thrust to restore the 2015 nuclear deal, but Iran has been, the reports by the IAEA has not been in favor of Iran. There has been many reports of accelerating of enrichment of uranium. And also many critics here in Washington, including myself, talks about this treaty does not include other activities, nefarious activities of Iran in the region, such as militias in Syria, militias in Iraq, interference in internal affairs in many countries in the Middle East, and also the long-range ballistic missile. So I think the U.S. is basically now rattling with the issue of sanctions, and went back to monitoring the illegal oil exports of Iran as a way or as a stick to bring Iran to the negotiating table. Also, the U.S. is sending in a quiet message to Iran. If you go ahead and build a nuclear weapon, at least 3 countries in the Middle East may follow ahead and build a nuclear bomb, like Turkey, like Saudi Arabia, like United Arab Emirates, and they are more qualified than Iran to do it. So the message is, if you build a nuclear weapon, the Middle East, there will be a substantial race of nuclear weapons in the Middle East, which will threaten everybody in the Middle East and the whole world.
We know that the current deal fell apart because the US, under then President Donald Trump, pulled out of it in 2018. There's no guarantee, is there, that if another agreement is reached, some future White House administration won't pull out?
Well, until a week ago, the deal was almost dead, and I still think it's almost dead. The Iranians were looking for lifting sanctions, for example, on the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, which President Biden rightly refused to do so. And also the Iranians continued, as I said, to enrich uranium. And the IAEA, which is a bipartisan, inspection body, has not given a clear bill to Iran. So I think the negotiations still are difficult. Even Russia has showed some reservations about these negotiations. The Biden administration appointed a person who is very much in favor of this deal. But again, Iran has not been cooperating or showing enough goodwill to sign such a treaty.
Can I ask you, do you believe that at the end of the day, any deal is better than no deal? Should more compromises be offered to Iran to get them to sign this nuclear agreement?
But there are 2 schools of this philosophy. The Democrats think they should use the carrot and the stick, which means they bring Iran to a deal so Iran will not build an atomic bomb, and in return they will lift sanctions. The Republicans mostly, or the conservatives, are mostly say that we have to use a stick and a stick, always choke Iran and prevent them from any use of their oil, because they're going to use their oil not only to build nuclear weapons, also to launch terrorism all over the world. And I think that's very true. And there are some exaggerated fears if this deal doesn't work, which has proven not true. I mean, before the killing of Qasem Soleimani, there were so many warnings to President Trump that if he dies, there would be a massive all Middle East Shia uprising. That didn't happen. And after his demise, everything went back to normal. So these are 2 competing schools. I think Iran is a rogue country, and I think Iran is not going to come to a nuclear deal and sit without trying to meddle in the Middle East let alone maybe continue on their nuclear program covertly outside the deal.
Good to speak with you. Entifadh Qanbar there in Washington, D.C.